What is up, guys? In today's video we have another video where I'm going to be spectating random players in Fortnite Zero Build, letting you know what I think about how they play, what they do well, and what they could do differently. As always, if you guys do enjoy this video, remember to give it a like, subscribe, like some more, and comment down below what you think of this year's Winterfest, because I know it has been a divisive topic for a lot of players. Some people feel like this is the worst Winterfest ever. I feel like it's okay, but I also don't really have the highest expectation for the holiday events in Fortnite. Like, it's just not the biggest deal to me one way or the other. I just want to play the game. So yeah, let me know what you guys think of Winterfest. And me going Lavish Lair, I guess, this game. I think the one I made previously, we went fencing, so we'll go Lavish this game. Of the mythic POIs in Zero Build, I think this one is the best, just because the auto shotgun is so good in Zero Build. I also think this is like one of the easiest ones to eliminate the boss at, because he tends to be a bit separated from the rest of his guards. But if you are going to be landing at one of these mythic POIs, or boss POIs, I think it is best to just try to clear the area and eliminate the other players first and not stress the boss that much. I feel like a lot of players like over concern themselves with the boss, and it just makes them easily get third-partied. Kind of like that player there who was like overly concerned with me. We just kind of griefed their game, to be honest. But we are going to be on board with Vital, I think is how you'll say this person's name. Feels bad for that April O'Neil, though. They literally had somebody landing on them, not playing the game, and then because of that, this bunny, I guess, gets timing on them. And so this person landed at the top here. I think this is good. It just makes it a lot easier to play the game. I think if you land at a POI like this, that's a lot of stories. I feel like you want to either land all the way up top and work your way down, or land in the bottom and work your way up. But like the players that kind of play in the middle levels of these houses are gonna get just kind of pinched from both angles at times, so it can be rough. And like I already said, when you land at these boss locations, personally, I think it's best to just focus on clearing the POI and then worrying about the boss later. In the last resort season with the vaults, it was like pretty important to like get to the boss and eliminate them as fast as possible, and then you could get the mythic and play off the vault and everything, and then just potentially leave. But the bosses take much longer to eliminate this season because they have like that second wind where they like regenerate their shield and everything. So your odds of getting third-partied are really high. So I like to just play for clearing the POI. If anybody goes for the boss, I will third-party them and just play it like that. You can't just like rush the boss down as fast. And when you're dealing with these POIs, I feel like you just want to be on guard as much as possible, ready to deal with third parties. Just limiting your exposure to third parties as much as possible. Like if you do start fighting the boss, they're really not that dangerous. You know, especially if you eliminate the guards, it makes it a lot less overwhelming. But like while you're fighting the boss, you don't want to tunnel vision on them too much. You want to just like kind of, you know, chip them down, get them weak, eliminate them, but also not expose yourself to third parties too much. Like you need to see that in the back of your mind always, that you're gonna get third partied when going for these bosses. So I like to just not, you know, stand out in the middle of rooms and fight the boss and things like that. Just try to put yourself in the best situation you can to deal with getting third partied. So I think this is now a time where he can start to go for the boss. I think this place is mostly empty. There is another player pulling up in a car that he needs to worry about, and that is something with these POIs that's rough. Since it does take longer to clear them, you do have to worry about other people coming in, and that's why I was saying you just need to be on your toes at all times and just be like ready to deal with getting third partied. He could kind of bait this here and see what this guy in the car is gonna do. If he starts fighting he could start fighting the boss, and then that guy will like third party him. Like this is okay, but you just want to focus on the other player. Like shoot the boss once, make this guy in the car think you're fighting the boss, and then just get ready to deal with the other guy. I think you want to get away from this boss now. It just summoned its other guards. You notice how he's like backing up into right shoulder peak? This is good. And he got away from where that other player potentially got out of his car. And now that player is finally pushing him. So this is like the good thing to do, like I was talking about, but he did like spend longer fighting the boss than I would have thought. Unfortunately, they get eliminated by Slim Glizzy. Kind of sucks because I feel like they played that okay. It's just this guy had the auto shotgun, and that's just how it goes this season, unfortunately. So this player was just throwing those shockwaves there to waste them, so he got his full stack and then used those other shockwaves, so in theory no one else can get them. That's never something that I'm that concerned about doing. Like I don't find that much value in wasting the shockwaves. I would rather just, you know, save them there and then potentially get them later, but it's It's one of those things that's like not that big of a deal to me one way or the other. He's gonna go to the vending machine here and buy heals and then probably deal with the boss afterwards. I would assume he's gonna go for the boss though, because it is already somewhat weak and he's using the auto shotty anyway, so you would think that he would want to use to get the mythic version. But actually, I feel bad for that initial person we were spectating. There's another third party pulling up. Potentially. They might not be coming through. They might just be like driving through this area. It's unlikely that this player is going to be able to get a radio tower though, because it just takes so long to clear this spot sometimes. Someone else was just shooting the boss, I think. Or the guards were shooting. Either way, the boss and the guards don't just shoot off for no reason. So if they were shooting, there's likely somebody else there. I don't hear any footsteps or anything. Oh, now I do. Could be a guard, but it is somewhat unlikely just because so much time has passed. One thing you can do if you think there's other people here when you open the vault is just open the vault and then like back up and like play to hope they're catching you off guard or like trying to catch you off guard. Like you could open this vault and then like back up to like one of these barriers here. And I have died, you know, pushing into the vault when there's somebody like right there. Because a lot of people will wait for you to open the vault and then try to make a play on you because they assume that you're like, you know, going in to get all the loot like this. I don't know why this player is so fixated on wasting shockwaves. Like, it's not the biggest deal, but I feel like it's also just like, it's not that big of a deal, you know? Like, the moment he sees shockwaves, he's using them every time. If that present is good for him, that's going to make it inconvenient for somebody to get through. They could shockwave through, but if they just like pickaxe or shoot their way through, it's going to be, you know, much more obvious that that's going on. He's just putting attachments on his gun. Did go for the 2x sight on the sniper, which is personally what I prefer as well. Not bad. He does have no heals though, so I'm assuming this player is going no heals because they have a medallion. That was never something I was that fond of doing, even before the medallion nerf, but now with the medallion nerf, I think this play is like pretty risky because one medallion heals you pretty slow now, but it also only heals you up to 50 shield. So if he gets into a fight and isn't able to, like the other player's able to heal up and he's not, like that could come back to bite him. Or if he's in a situation where he's being like pressured by somebody decent. If you are going to go no heals though, I think you want to get as many medallions as possible. So if I'm this player, I'm probably going towards Reckless Railways or maybe even Fencing Fields. The medallion is just on the ground there. I don't think it's been picked up yet. But it's likely that there's people there fighting over it right now if it hasn't been picked up this late into the game. Because Fencing Fields is like a pretty populated POI typically, and with this zone or like with this bus path, I think there definitely would have been players going through there. And Grand Glacier players still at Grand Glacier. Peter Griffin player is getting in towards Fencing Fields. He could end up getting this radio tower as well probably, and this radio tower, or maybe it's already taken. I guess it's already taken because it's not showing on the map, never mind. But this radio tower in between Reckless Railway and Grand Glacier, the one that spawns like here, I think, is 100% spawn rate. So it's there every single game. If you land anywhere on the side of the map, that's like pretty nice to just know that's going to be consistently there every single game. And even if you don't want to use the medallions, like I personally haven't been using them very much since the nerf, I still do like hunting the other medallion players and just getting them out of the game. Because, like I've talked about many times with the mid-match objectives, like typically the more aggressive players are going to be the ones going for those medallions or going for those mid-match objectives. So if you're able to get them out of the game, you just make your match a lot easier. Kind of seat swap snipe potentially. I don't see the person though. I think they were like on that roof, but I don't see them at all. Oh, they're there. Unfortunately, missed shot there. He gets hit. And this is what I was talking about, because if he has a big, he can maybe like shockwave to that building and then drink a big. And even if he doesn't get it totally off, he gets some shield in that time. But now he's just stuck at 50 shield. While this other player is taking no damage. See if he 50-50s the snipe again. There is another player in this area too, I think, because the Grand Glacier one. Maybe not. Maybe they didn't come here. I think it was like the player I'm spectating, Goldstone, I think. So he probably wins this just because he hit a snipe more recently. And that's kind of the unfortunate aspect of the game now, is like with snipers being so good and with the auto shotgun being so good, you just hit a fight and then shockwave, and then it's probably going to be GG's at that point, because unless the person like snipes you out of the air or something, because you already have like 100+ damage on them, and just the auto shotgun is very good, and it's very easy to get a kill in that situation. Like, you just got to be near the person, and then you're eventually going to hit some shots with it, you know? And so now they have 2 medallions. They'll heal a little bit faster, and they'll heal up to 60 health. There's another 2 medallion player here, and then the Grand Glacier, I can't say that word ever. Grand Glacier player is still at Grand Glacier. So if I was them, I would be more concerned about trying to get to this area, because if you get to that, you have 4 medallions at that point. You've eliminated another 2 medallion player, which is nice, and 4 medallions, I think, is where it starts to get good. You'll heal up to 85 shield, and I think with this player carrying no heals, definitely want to get as many medallions as possible, like I was saying. Please tell me he's not going to waste those clingers. Okay, I thought he was going to like get out and waste those clingers so nobody else can use them later, because he seemed like very concerned about wasting stuff, like the shockwaves earlier, and then like after he drank the bake, he like threw them into different spots. Not really sure what he's going for here. Okay, yeah, no, the other player's going that way. So he's definitely going to go for that player. And this will likely be a fight that decides the outcome of the game. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if the player that wins this fight ends up winning. One thing you do have to be concerned, though, is not only if you're going here, you have that medallion player marked, obviously, but also there's going to be other people that see there's 2 medallion players fighting here, so, like, they're going to be concerned about that. He wins this fight, I think, 100%. GG's. Yeah, that Peely played that not great. That car, I feel like, is so bad for those fights. Like when the person's just in the car and you AR them, I feel like I always beam people out of that car. He's trying to get the Mythic Striker AR, but picking up loot is a struggle this season. I would much rather have... Okay, yeah, I was about to say, I'd much rather have this car. This is the best car in the game, I think. Not only... I feel like it performs the best off-road. It might have more health. I'm not too I don't know exactly how much HP each car has, but it performs well off-road, and it provides the most cover, which is something I really want my car for, is just the added cover, especially dealing with snipers. You can get out and peek like several different angles. But with this player being on the map now, like they have 4 medallions, their circle is pretty small. You see that there. Anybody in the game is going to know exactly where they are, so I feel like having the car as cover and making it to where you can't just get like engaged on as easily is like a huge like point of value. So if you are going to use the medallions, I'd recommend using the car as much as possible. Even if you aren't, I would really recommend using the cars this season, because of how good snipers are. I feel like the more you're driving around, the less likely it is you just get sniped by somebody like hiding in a bush or whatever, you know. I do not like fighting on this island. The Winterfest island for this season is rough. I have faith in this player, though. I think they win this game. This isn't the other medallion player, but I feel like just playing that roof is so awkward with this island. Like the previous island, you could get like roof of house, and then you had an advantage at that point. But I guess this little like side island is like the point of advantage. Oh, dude, imagine he missed that and eliminated himself with fall damage. He should get this kill, though. Oh, dude, I thought he died there. I'm not gonna lie. I thought it was over. If he's able to get up on here, I think he would have gotten the kill. But, okay, he still gets it. But that really could have gone either way. Because that player was able to... I don't know if they healed up or not, but they could have healed up in that time. But that was like, what? 10 HP or something like that? Like, that easily could have gone just the other way around. That was not great. I don't know if they messed up their grapple blade or, like, intentionally, like, fell off. But the grapple blade can be, like, awkward to use for sure. Other medallion players over here now. Not really sure what's going on there. But that's probably the only other threat in this lobby. But I wouldn't even really be that concerned about that person because they've just been doing nothing all game. Like, I would imagine they landed Grand Glacier since they got that medallion. So in that time, they've gone from here to here. Like, they're probably just hiding. And a lot of games I've played this season, or, you know, previous seasons. Alright, I'm just going to mute this because he's shooting off constantly and it's annoying. But in a lot of games I've played this season, and even in Chapter 4 with the mid-match objectives, a lot of times by the time you eliminate all the, like, players at the mid-match objectives, whether it's, like, this season it's kind of the medallions, but also, like, the radio towers, and then in Chapter 4, Island as well was super important, and the vaults. By the time you've done all that, typically you've taken out a lot of the more decent players in the lobby. That was why when he fought that POI, I was saying that's probably going to be the fight that decides the outcome of the game. Because usually the more active players in the lobby are the better ones. I was about to just say that like that person is sniping at from there. Seems like he knew they were there. But he's going to heal up to 85 shield, so that snipe kind of does nothing for the player that just sniped him. Because they were never going to be able to like pressure in that time, you know? You know, pat on them. They're right here. And so this Jack Skellington has a huge advantage in this fight, I think, just because of medallions and the fact that he has, you know, the mythic auto shotgun, and this is going to be an auto shotgun fight. Worst case scenario for him here would have been that like the guy sniped him out of the air. So this I really don't like. He like patted on him just to do nothing about it. I don't really get that, because now he gets sniped again. Probably not going to matter. But with him like getting up to that person without getting sniped, I would have wanted to land like somewhere in that area and then fight them. Basically, as long as this player doesn't get sniped, I think they'll win the game. The person sniping at him is getting pushed by somebody over there, so this should be a fight that he could third party. I just want to get to one of the rifts, and then as soon as you hear shooting rift. But he could just also drive over there as well, which would probably be better for like the long run. So this is not... Okay, good. I thought he was going to go up that path and just put himself in the middle of that fight, which would have not been good. But him going to the far side here and playing the edge of the fight, like, reduces the likelihood he just gets focused by both players. But he also has 4 medallions, so they might just focus him anyways. That fight, no one died, so I don't know what happened to that other player. That car ran out of gas. Okay, this is rough. Okay, GG's. I do not understand the play there. That was like exactly what you didn't want. That's what I was saying. Like him going around the edge was like a good thing because it's less likely he gets focused by both players. But he pushed into this player here, which I think was clearly the player on the far side of the fight. Without the other player like getting eliminated. I feel bad for this Lair cross. If I was them, I would honestly, I mean, they can maybe get this fight. But if I was them, I would honestly just try to go to Railway. They can't deal with Storm at all. They have 4 health. They're dead. They just killed themselves. Oh my gosh. That's rough. But yeah, what I was going to say is if you're that person, you probably just want to like shockwave to like Island or Railway. I didn't look at where Zone was. But like getting to Island and then rifting to like here maybe and then buying heals at this gas station would have been great. But not shockwaving into Storm while on 4 health. I feel so bad for that person. Because they did kill the Jack Skellington, which is great, but like that Jack Skellington kind of like griefed. They just like drove at them for no reason. And I believe that Jack Skellington got shot by both people there. And that's why I was saying you didn't want to put yourself in the middle of that fight. When, like, yeah, I don't know, that's rough. And so now we're on board with 10 superset, just hiding in the backseat of a car, and then silvery sliver. I think this is an AI. So 10 superset is gonna get gifted a win because the other better players in the lobby decided to, one, just put himself in between 2 people and just like get focused, but also the other one decided to just like die in Storm. I think if that Laura Croft like shockwaves ahead and then tries to like rift by Island, that fight is definitely more playable. Like I think they could still like recover and play this game out just fine. Because they didn't seem like a bad player. Like they were hitting snipes, like they hit a few snipes on that Jack Skellington, and then also like ended up winning that fight with the Jack Skellington. I'm still not sure if the Jack was getting sprayed by the other player as well, and that's why they got melted so fast, or if it's just the Laura craft beaming them. But this is exactly my point when I was saying that, like, more often than not, when you've taken out like all the medallion holders and you've dealt with those mid-match objectives players, like Island, whatever, you've typically eliminated a lot of the more proactive players in the lobby, because it's literally an AI and a player that's scared to fight an AI because they don't want to make any mistake, which I can somewhat understand this season. Because of how good snipers are, a lot of endgame is just like don't get sniped and your chances of winning are much higher. But this is like a bit excessive. Obviously, they can't know that this final person is an AI, but yeah. They're probably so nervous right now. Ready to get this dub, and this person might just get eliminated in Storm. A lot of time the bots will. Okay, no, they're gonna make it in. But this is gonna be a fight that literally takes so long to happen. I'm like debating just like like cutting the video here, because like I am 99.9999% certain this is an AI. And that this player is just not gonna do anything to fight the AI. I kind of want to just keep spectating to see at what point they'll fight them. Like, okay, they should have seen them there. They might not have, though. It's obviously different when you're playing versus watching. I feel like it's much easier to see little things like that when you're not as concerned about playing the game. Like, genuinely, there will probably be nothing that happens until his car runs out of gas. He's taking the safest routes possible. Come on, man. Just drive forward. You got this. I believe in you. And you might be like, no, this 10 superset guy is also an AI. But, like, the AI don't play like this. This is, like, too petty. He's, like, hiding in the back seat before. Okay, now he's, like, driving a little bit more, so he might end up running into the AI. Okay, there they are. I hope that he saw them there. See, Jack Skellington had the Santa Claus outfit on. He just wanted to cosplay as Santa Claus. So he like intentionally griefed everybody's game so that 10 Superset could get a free win versus this AI. But that is going to be it for this video. I'm surprised they had a crown. But that is going to be it for this video. I hope you guys found this helpful, informative, interesting. As always, if you did, remember to give it a like. Subscribe if you like to see more. And comment down below what you think of Winterfest this year. Because I feel like that's been the most like kind of divisive topic in the community recently. But I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.